Alright, peeps, check it out. This is our, what would you call this? Our EU stream? Or CNG talk? Maybe? I guess. Today we have Murder. Last night he had some things he had to take care of, so we didn't get his input last night, so we will get his input today. But, as everybody knows, things happened with Intel, with their chipsets, the security breaches that they had with their chipsets. There were a lot of articles about it, everybody giving their expert, air quotes, expert opinion, or expert diagnosis of the travesty of the 10 years of issues that they were having with all the way back. Like I said, this started 10 years ago. Now, I did state yesterday, on yesterday's stream about this, that every company makes mistakes. Every company is not perfect. So, Intel making a mistake, yes, it's been a 10-year mistake, and that, in my opinion, is gross negligence. Is that what you would call it, Murder?
Ignorance.
Ignorance? Okay, that's fair enough. But I'm hoping that they did learn from this, and like I said, there were experts who did say this came about because Intel took shortcuts in creating their chipsets.
I say ignorance because in 10 years you had to have known about it and you willingly let it go until it became public.
Yeah. And some of the executives are being investigated for insider trading because before this came to light, they sold stock, and lots of it, before they put this public. And as soon as it went public, their stock went, it took a tank. And AMD, Nvidia, theirs went right back up. Even more so than normal. I mean, it looks like it kind of went up 6 to 7 points, if I'm not mistaken, when I was reading the article, which is, for them, a spike, because they normally are like 1, 2, maybe a half a point, when they actually get up there. So, this problem is nobody else's problem but Intel. Intel is the one that made the goof up. Now, Linux, Apple, and Microsoft all have to create patches for their systems to fix what Intel had done. It's that simple. They're the ones that have to take care of it.
That's why you build AMD.
Well, on the flip side of this, because of the patches that Microsoft had put out, a lot of older AMD systems did lock up. They, I wouldn't say they bricked them, because once you brick something, you can never use it again. But they did make it so the PCs were unbootable. You could not boot your AMD PC because of this patch. Now Microsoft blames AMD for not giving them the right information to make the patches, so that when they put it in for AMD, the security patch went for everybody. In my opinion, did that patch need to go out for AMD? And why did they have to patch AMD systems? Why couldn't it just be an Intel patch? Because that's basically where the problem was at. Basically, that's exactly where the problem was. was in Intel systems, not AMD systems.
Yeah, I don't think they should have made it a patch for both.
No, I think that they should have went and put in a checker that says, okay, you have an Intel. Let's upgrade your security with this new patch. Whereas they didn't do that. They said, blanket it, and we'll cover our asses all the way around. And lo and behold, there were AMD machines that just started locking up because they don't need the patch, and the patch just messed everything up for them as far as their CPUs are concerned. So, I would have to say that would be Microsoft's problem, not AMD's problem. But AMD did say that they are going to work with Microsoft to get this fixed and get a patch out for that patch. But in order for you to actually even use it, you have to put it on a thumb drive or on something so that you can get your CPU to boot up. You'll have to read from that disk first in order for that patch to even go in, or else it's never going to go. You're never going to get that patched.
That's typical Microsoft, though. It's let's put a patch out that affects everything, and whoever we mess up, screw it, they can patch our patch.
Yeah, pretty much.
And let them do the work. We're just going to throw this patch out there, let someone else fix it.
Yep, that's exactly it. And when it came to Intel eventually coming out about this, it was basically being said, your systems will go a lot slower after this update by up to 30%. And by what that means is you can have a 5%, a 1%, or, a 0.5% slower machine, but up to 30%. They're saying no more than 30%. Now, that reminds me of Apple. Apple screwed up their phones so that your phones ran a lot slower, so you'd have to upgrade your phones. And that just came out before this came out. So,
well, I don't know. I say, in order to say Apple screwed up their phones had to work in the first place.
Oh yeah, I get that. But what they did was they actually messed with them so that they were slower with updates and slowed down their phones so that you would have to upgrade your phone to the next phone up. I think that's just stupid. Oh yeah. Well, that's exactly it. Apple did the exact same thing. And you didn't hear anything about Apple and any of its CEOs selling off stock. Hey, Kuga, how you doing, buddy? Because they didn't sell their stock off. They took it on the chin and kept going. Whereas Intel, those guys are now looking at having repercussions of insider trading. So we'll see how that all turns out, I guess. Let's see here. Okay, now it was said that, now this is on the Bloomberg technology page, but it says chip design flaws are exceedingly rare. More than 20 years ago, a college professor discovered a problem on how early versions of the Intel Pentium's chip calculated numbers. And their rival, International Business Machines Corp, or IBM, was able to make use of that finding and claim Intel products would cause frequent problems for customers' computers. While that didn't happen, Intel had to recall chips and took charge of more than $400 million. So that's a substantial amount of money back in that day that they had to basically fork out and eat. You would think that, knowing that this was something that they did years ago, having flaws, that they would be a little bit more diligent in the way they make their chipsets.
Yeah, if they put too much work into them, then, of course, they got to raise the price for the consumer. So,
yeah, exactly. And I understand that. But, you would want to think that you're going to put something out that is a lot more secure, especially if people are putting a trust into your company by buying your product. I mean, I guess that's a business model that most people would expect from businesses. You're going to put out a product that somebody else is going to use, and it's going to be better than anybody else's product. Now, being that they have had this problem for the last 10 years, and it has been said, but it has not been confirmed, that they took shortcuts in creating their CPUs. If they're going to start creating more CPUs coming up, is it going to affect how they make them, how they sell them, the architecture behind those? I mean, is it going to be something that's going to maybe make their chipsets better? You won't know until they start actually fixing the chipsets.
brain freeze.
Yeah, it is.
So maybe this spells the end for Intel, or the beginning of the end.
Well, that's what I think a lot of people, and that's what I said yesterday during the show yesterday you buy a product because another product bashed that product and said this is all bad and we're all good, and so you went with that product. And that's when you first got the taste of a product. And then you went to go and use that other product that was so bad, and you found out, well, it really wasn't that bad, but it's really not that good either, but it's really not as bad as the other guy says it is. And throughout this problem, I think that AMD has gotten a lot more people on board only because it wasn't the other guy saying, hey, their chipset's screwed. It's them saying our chipset is screwed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people will jump ship, will jump to an AMD chip, but there are going to be those who are not. And everybody has their preferences in chipsets. Me personally, I side more towards AMD when it comes to building a gaming PC. Whereas if I'm building an office PC, I'm going to go more towards Intel. Now, I'm kind of when it comes to servers, I'm kind of up in the air now because of the new, I believe it's called Oberon, AMD Oberon server chipsets. So I'm kind of up in the air now on that one because I haven't been able to test that scenario out, whereas I have tested AMD and I have tested Intel.
Yeah, well, when it comes to servers, Intel's kind of had that on lockdown for a while.
Well, my one server I have, is not Intel. My one server is IBM. It has an IBM chipset. And so, and it runs a little smoother. If I had the RAM for it, I would have it up and running, but it runs smoother than the other one, the Intel. So, I mean, I would like to give it a good testing. So if IBM and Intel and AMD, if you guys are watching, I got some servers that I could use your guys' products with that I could test for you. Just saying.
Oh, the conversions will require a lot more than them sending you a processor.
Well, with AMD, I'll have to get a motherboard, but I already have an IBM board for the IBM.
IBM's not too big into server processors anymore, though. I mean, they still make them, but barely.
Yeah, but I mean, they still make it, so I mean, I'm still going to try it because they make it, you know what I mean?
I don't know. If they still made the Pinto, I still wouldn't try it.
If they made the Ranchero, would you?
No.
Really? I'd be all over that. I'd be all over a Ranchero or the El Camino. I'd be all over either one of those.
I mean, I kind of like, off subject, but I kind of sort of in a small way like the El Caminos and stuff just because they're different.
Yes.
But honestly, I would never buy one. I don't like them that much. I mean, they look interesting, but they don't look cool enough to buy.
Well, the last year of the Monte Carlo, or excuse me, of the El Camino, they used a Monte Carlo front end on it.
Yeah,
and put the
I like the older Monte Carlos. Those were nice.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing though. The older Monte Carlo, that last year of the El Camino, they did put that front end on there, which made it look even much more beefier. And and a friend of mine had one. We put a 350 in there, put a 400 turbo transmission, 4.9-inch rear end. We freaking tubbed it out. Oh yeah, that thing just screamed down the road. But anyway,
I got a buddy with a 1990, I think 90 RX-7 with a small block V8 in it. Yeah, power to weight's like ridiculously stupid.
I bet. And that's where that's our tangent for the show, for this part of the show anyway, which we will probably go on another one. That's why we have the show. We should call it the Wild Tangent Show. That would be fun.
The Random Shit Show.
The Random Shit Show. There we go.
With Tech Talk.
With Tech Talk. But when it does come to chipsets, it doesn't matter. You could be one, you could be another. It's that simple. You could be AMD or you can be Intel. And like I've already said myself, Intel's good for its thing, AMD is good for its thing. One's better at gaming, the other one is better at desk work. My personal opinion.
Me, I've had Intel. Now, don't. For the people watching, who have watched for a while, don't think I haven't had Intel. I have, but I am an AMD person all the way. Because I've tried them both. Office computer, AMD. Gaming computer, AMD. Paperweight computer, old ass AMD.
Hey, I think I can give me an AMD stapler with that one.
Hell yeah.
My red stapler. Where's my red stapler, by the way? I have a red stapler, murder.
You know, red stapler.
Yes. You remember that movie?
Parts of it.
Yeah, the guy. Margaret Stapler. That's Margaret Stapler. I have one. But anyway, peeps.
They haven't moved you to the basement yet, have they?
Mama moved me to the basement a long time ago, bro. Now, this next part here, we're going to talk, it's a little bit on the financial side, but it also is about tech, and we're talking AMD, NVIDIA, and Netflix are leading stocks in Silicon Valley. I mean, and AMD is always been kind of increasing just a little bit at a time, Netflix kind of is up and down, NVIDIA, very small crawl. But since the beginning of the year, they've kind of had a little bit bigger of a growth, and I think that is honestly because of Intel. That is my honest opinion. It's because of Intel that these two, not Netflix, but the other two, have had such a surge in stocks being bought and sold. Scorpio, thank you for that host, brother. But when it comes to the financial portion behind the technology, there is millions and billions of dollars that are being in transactions for this technology. So don't think for a minute that, Intel took a hit and they're going to go out of business right away. It's going to be a little bit if they do, which I doubt they will. They probably just won't be as favorited as much, but with all the money in the back end of all this, they have money. They can pay the bill. They can, if there's a class action lawsuit that comes about, they will be able to settle it out of court, I guarantee you.
Yeah, I don't think Intel will completely die out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they're going to lose enough off of it that they're not going to be, top contender anymore.
No, I think AMD has been for the last couple of years been going up in things. I mean, when it comes to their GPUs, when it comes to their CPUs, they're talking the new APUs. All of this is going to make things. This is in regards to the issue of Intel and their leak with their CPUs. Yes, and what I had said during the beginning of the show, Scorpio, is that there was, in the eye of other people besides myself, insider trading. Oh, thank you, Murder, for that host.
I forgot to click it earlier.
But there's going to be, because they sold stock, and lots of it, not just like a little bit here and there. They sold a lot of stock before they announced their problem with their CPUs. So there's going to be that problem. You're going to have that issue. And they're going to have to foot that bill as well. They're going to have to pay the fines, I guarantee it.
So speaking of the AMD improvements and over the past years, and Intel maybe dropping out of the race a little bit. Like you said, it's going to take time.
Yeah.
Not to go into any details about my after the New Year plans, but you know them.
Yes, I do.
They fell through.
Okay.
But I have an alternate plan, and that plan I will go ahead and reveal. I think I'm going to build a Ryzen system.
Nice.
I'm gonna try it out. I was looking at some of the prices. I would love to do a Threadripper, but oh my god, have you seen the prices of those things?
Yes, I have. I
I mean,
have,
granted,
and they are
granted,
expensive.
I feel that they're worth it if you have the money to spend, but $1,000 just for the processor is a little much for me at the moment.
It's a little steep. Yeah, it is. It really, really is.
But I
Now,
mean, for a 16 core processor, I mean it's worth it. Like I said, if you have the extra money. But I think I'm
yeah,
gonna go with the Ryzen 7,
with the 8-core processor.
the 4
Yeah,
gig 8 core Ryzen 7.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because it goes up to 128 gigs of memory can be put on those boards.
Yes.
It's ridiculous. It's crazy.
I know, man.
It's like a server sitting on your desk.
I mean, you can sit there and you can open up as many files as you want. You really, really could.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think that's going to be my attempt.
Yes, Scorpio, it is very suspicious that they did sell off early. And that's why that was brought up by other people in the financial district after it came out. They're like, well, wait a minute, these guys just sold a whole bunch of stock, and now their stock is taking a tank.
Well, not only because of the problem that they admitted to, will their stock take a hit, but enough shares are sold off at one time, it's going to make the stock drop.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's kind of, they're hurting themselves twice.
Oh, pretty much. Pretty much. Oh. But, yeah, Scorpio, when it comes to this, to the AMD Intel deal, everybody's going to have their preferences. It really boils down to everybody having a preference. And if you're going to stick with Intel, you're going to stick with Intel. If you're going to stick with AMD or switch to AMD because of this, then you're going to do so. I can't tell you you can't do it. All I can say is I hope that your system works the way you want it to, whether you go Intel or AMD. Yes, and that would help them as well if it does go low enough that other people can go in and buy in large quantities. That will help inject cash back into Intel.
As long as they don't buy it themselves.
Yeah, which I think that they're going to end up doing because they made a lot of money, and then it goes down, they're going to end up buying it at a lower cost, and then when it goes back up, they just made a fortune.
Well, that is, damn phone. That is definite insider trading. You sell it high. If you, like I said, if you sell off a large enough chunk, stock's going to drop. Even if your company has no problems, it's going to drop because all of a sudden all these stocks are, gone. They're off the market. They're sold. And then you turn around and rebuy it because it's cheaper. Yeah, that's insider trading. You just
Definitely.
intentionally fucked with the stock market.
Yep. But we'll see what happens in the coming months. When one way or the other when it comes to this. I've been keeping an eye on it. Like I said, Microsoft did put out a patch, but because of their patch, it has screwed up AMD systems. Because basically the patch isn't made for an AMD problem. It's an Intel problem. Murder and I both said this. They should have never sent that patch out to anybody with an AMD processor. Now, AMD and Microsoft are having to work together to create a patch for the patch so that these people can get their PCs to start booting up. Because right now, these AMD systems are not booting up at all. And these are mostly older PCs, or excuse me, older CPUs.
Yeah, so if you want to send out a blanket patch to cover everything, at least test the other stuff. All right, Intel has some kind of security issue. We need to patch Windows to cover it. Hey, let's test some AMD systems and see if they have the same security issue. Oh, they don't? So let's not include them in the patch.
Yes, exactly. I mean, there's a lot where they actually make the patch specific. I mean, there's specific patches that Microsoft puts out for NVIDIA. There are special ones they put out for AMD. I've seen them in the patch notes when I read the patch notes. That's the other thing. Read those patch notes. See what you're getting. I mean, that's as much as I can say. Now, Scorpio stated that most of the AMD systems don't process the patch from what he saw, but there are enough of them. I mean, we're talking, I think it was like 15,000 systems, AMD systems. I could be wrong on the number, but I believe that was the number I read of AMD systems that could not be bootable after this patch. So their systems did patch, and that screwed up their AMD's CPUs. Now, what were you going to say, Robert?
Oh, no, I was going to talk about the same thing that Scorpio just said.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, most of the AMD systems don't process the patch. True. The way the patches work is they're based off, it's almost like a version number. It's a build number, the architecture of certain processors. So, as Grim was saying, the older ones are the ones that aren't booting. The newer ones don't have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
The newer ones may, AMD may have put into them already to not have to worry about that particular security issue that Intel's having. Whatever specific technicals of it that it is that Intel's having, the older AMDs may not have had. I don't know what the word would be. The programming put into them.
Mm-hmm.
To even think about it. I think of it as the whole Y2K thing, right? Some computers had absolutely no problem because they already fixed ones that were going to be hitting the shelves. So there wasn't an issue with them. But then the older computers didn't have the programming to be able to jump over the double zeros and not have an issue. So they did. It to me, it kind of goes along the same way. The older AMD architecture, they didn't even think about it at the time. So now there's an issue. The newer ones, they may have already thought ahead and it's not affecting them.
Yeah. Now, Scorpio, it mainly affects people running Windows 8 and older, but there are people who updated from Windows 8 and Windows 10 or from Windows 7 and Windows 8 to Windows 10. Those systems still run the same chipset, and that chipset still is being affected. So it doesn't really matter the Windows version. It just boils down to the chipset version is what it really boils down to for the Intel. Now, there was a lot of people who did state that Intel took shortcuts, and that's why this happened. I tend to say that could be it, or it could be it was an oversight, and they just decided that it wasn't enough of a problem for them at the time to even worry about it. But now it's a big problem for them, so they should have been worrying about it. If you got a grain of sand in your shoe, you better worry about it now instead of later when it's caused a cut in the back of your heel and you're walking on it. It's that simple. So needless to say, AMD and Microsoft are working together. They are trying to get this fixed. Now, these systems aren't booting up because of this, so people are going to end up having to go and basically almost like a restore of their systems, but with the patch. They're going to have to create maybe a bootable disk that gives them the ability to inject this patch, and then their system to get back up and running again.
Yeah, that's gonna suck. I mean, a lot of them are probably gonna require reload of Windows.
Well, that's the thing though. If you have a Windows repair disk, if you put that in, you can install updates from there, and it will allow you into the system enough to be able to inject that patch. So you probably won't have to reset your Windows, back to factory, and you lose all of your files. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you have a repair disk.
But I'm thinking that with this, Microsoft might end up putting one out there for that. Yes, I actually learned that when I was in Iraq. One grain of sand can cause you to be out of the picture after traveling 5-10 miles walking, because that grain of sand just sits in there and rubs and rubs and rubs. I seen a guy's foot, his heel, and I'm not joking with you, his heel was completely cut open because of a few grains of sand in his boot, and walking with it like that. So, just always be preventive when you're trying to do things. Also, look at your guys' passwords. Go out on the internet, look at the most commonly used passwords, and see how close your password comes to that. If it comes anywhere close to that, you need to change your password. Because anybody can hack a system using those common passwords and then variances of those passwords.
Oh man, so you mean the password that the teachers set up for us at school on these practice servers isn't any good?
Oh, they suck.
Capital P assword 1.
Yep.
That's what everyone. We start a new class and they'll be like, okay, well, it's they're virtual servers is what they are for us to play around on. We go to virtual server number such and such. The password is, everybody's already typing it in, capital P ASSWORD 1.
And then you're going to have that one security guy who's going to change that up on you guys, and you guys are going to lock your systems up and out of those virtual servers.
I remotely log into my computer at home and run my virtual machines there, so I can have whatever passwords I want.
Yeah, exactly. So, always make sure that you guys are up on your passwords. If you've got to change your passwords, make sure you make note of it somewhere. I have a tendency of not writing shit down, and I will forget it. And then Searchy is over there laughing at me because she knows it's true. But there are passwords that I have been using for a while that are, I'm not going to say impossible, but it's improbable you're going to get it within the first couple of attempts before you lock the system off. Yeah, just as smart, it's still laughter in my case. Now, if anybody has any questions about this, let's get those out there. Ask them now. And we are going to move on to the games of 2018 that are going to be coming out. Now, I went to Games Radar to get this list, so I hope you guys don't fault me on this, because I didn't watch CES and it just wasn't on my radar of things to do. But yes, Red Dead Redemption 2 was what I talked about last night. It is probably not the best, but one of the best games, or not the best, but one of the most talked about, most hyped games out there is Red Dead Redemption 2. And there were so many people who liked the first one, they are very, very excited about the second one. Now, Murder, I'm going to put this in chat, the link for it. That's where we're at, peeps. This is where I get some of my information. I kind of go all over the web to get information on games, and then I usually go to the developer's website and I look at what they have to say about their games, if they put anything out at all about their games. So this is where I'm getting my material from, peeps, for this particular part of the talk. I'm not too excited about the new Dragon Ball Z Fighter Z, whatever the hell they're calling it. I played one of the older Dragon Ball Z games back on the PlayStation 2, or maybe it was original PlayStation. Hell, I don't remember. It was a while ago. A long while ago. It was okay. It was okay. I wasn't very good at it. I think it's just because it was a different type of way to play the game versus like Soul Calibur or Mortal Kombat or games like that. This was a little bit different than those for me. So if you guys like it, hey, have at it. It's supposed to be a pretty good game from what I understand. Now, Monster Hunter World. That one is going to be I'm not going to say it's going to be one of the best, but you're going to find a lot of people who are going to purchase this game. They're going to stream this game. And then after about 2 weeks of playing this game, they're going to be done with it. And you won't see any much more about it. And in fact, this one's going to be releasing January 26th, so just right around the corner. Never played any of the Dynasty Warriors series games, but that's another one coming out February 13th, the day before Valentine's Day. So maybe your sweetheart will buy it for you. I'm not looking at you to buy this for me. Thank you very much. I don't need this game. Kingdom Come Deliverance. Yeah, I don't know much about that game at all. They're saying here that Kingdom Come Deliverance is like a historically accurate Skyrim. No, if she's going to get me anything, she can get me the, well, we already have the season pass for Elite Dangerous, right? You bought me? I'm looking. Hold on. Yep, you bought me season pass. Never mind. Because they're going to be coming up with the updates. They're going to be updating.
She needs to buy you the new Powerpuff game. Powerpuff Girls game.
No, the hell with that. The hell with Powerpuff Girls. I don't need that shit.
My Little Pony?
No. No, but Bones, the Sea and Bone game, the one we were talking about, we would like to get. What? No, it was Bones and something else, they call it. It's that pirate game we were looking at. Skull and Bones, yes, Skull and Bones. We were looking at that one before, remember? And it looked pretty damn awesome. I think they should get that for us. He protested too much. Yeah, I will protest. I am good at that. Far Cry 5. It's a series of games that a lot of people liked. To me, it's too much like GTA. And I hate GTA.
You just can't drive.
It's you might as well be buying a hooker version of Need for Speed. It's that simple.
You don't have to pick up the hookers. I mean, it's just fun to pick up a hooker, and then when she gets out, run her over and take your money back.
Yeah, see. Me personally, it's a no. It really, really has to be a no because those types of games, the idiocy that a lot of the people playing the game give out, I just cannot deal with. It was like when I tried playing Arma or Arma 3. Could not deal with the idiocy and ended up having just to walk away. Hey, look, you're going to buy me the fighter helm and all that for Elite Dangerous streaming? Please. Last Starfighter, the helmet they had, I'm all over it.
You need some kind of padded helmet.
Yeah, I know. I need a padded helmet. To deal with you, pal. Okay, so one game that I am looking forward to in a series of games that I've never played is God of War.
Oh, I love them. All of them. I want the new one.
I never played the original one, or any of the original games. They just didn't interest me. In all honesty, they did not interest me. But this one seems to have more of a storyline behind it, whereas the other one was, oh, he's just going to fight a bunch of gods and, that's it. This was a little different. This has somewhat of a storyline behind it. I really like it. And he is working with Norse mythology in this one versus the Greek and Roman of before. They did say that there will be more character development and quieter moments in between all the carnage. That being said, yay. I think I like character development when it comes to gaming. That's why I like leveling systems in games, because you develop your character with a leveling system. So that in itself, that's my take, peeps. That's just me. And God of War is only on PS4. Always has been, from what I understand. It's been on the PS systems. It's a Sony only game, right?
Say again?
I was saying that the Kratos games, God of War, have always been Sony, yes. Correct? Okay.
Oh, yeah. It's always been PlayStation only.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's something that Sony can be very proud of, is this game series, in all honesty. Like Halo for Xbox.
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption 2, I'll get to that one just in a second, Scorp. But, Murder, you remember the game we were looking at, Days Gone? The guy was on the motorcycle, and he was taking out zombies.
A little bit, yeah.
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 It's a Sony only game. Yeah, it's a Sony only game. And
you still need to give me your PSN name.
I gave it to you.
No, you didn't.
I said Grimstout, damn it.
Oh, well, I gotta add you to my thing.
But
Red Dead 2, I never really got into that. Well, I never got into the first one, so
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, the second one, it's basically going to be for PS4 and Xbox One. But there are a lot of people out there who have stated that they will be setting this game up so you will be able to play it on PC. They're going to end up having to do a lot of piecing together for an emulator to play it, but there have been a lot of people saying they're going to make it for PC. And a lot of people, I'm going to have to say probably 90% of the people that have played the first one loved it so much that they couldn't wait for the second. Vampire. New game coming out. It will be on all three systems, PS4, Xbox, and PC. I like my Vampire the Masquerade game. I played the live-action role-playing of it, and I've also played the video game portion of this. And this is supposed to be something similar, but not exactly like. And I really can't wait. If anybody gets me a game, this is the one I want. And you'll hear it in a minute. State of Decay 2. A lot of people like the first one. The second one, a lot of people are waiting on that one as well. They say that it is going to co-op for up to 4 players. I believe the first one was like that as well. Or was the first one just regular? Yeah, that's what I heard, Sport, is that it could have been the Oregon Trail. But, Oregon Trail, back in the day of the Apple IIe, you didn't have that ability. And that was the original Oregon Trail. I don't know if they had a new game since then. But State of Decay 2 is going to be coming out in spring of 2018. It looks interesting. It could be something that we might be playing soon. They supposedly did a lot of patches. Now, I don't know if it had to do with that specifically, but there were a lot of patches that came out for State of Decay probably about a month ago, if I'm not mistaken. Metro Exodus, not too familiarized. Now, Anthem. Anthem is a third person. They're saying it's like a Mass Effect style game. Basically, you're wearing an exosuit and you get to do cool things on worlds. And it says here you're going to be exterminating gigantic aliens. Yay! Instead of dinosaurs in your exosuits. Like, excuse me. Skull and Bones, yes, that is the name of the game. And that one is going to be late in the year for 2018, and will be on PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4. And you're basically can do the single player mode, which is campaign, which is what I'd like to play. I like to play the campaign mode before I actually play the PvP portions of it. And there will be upgrading your ship. I really hope they don't implement any kind of buying upgrades for your ship with real money. That will just really kill the game with those microtransactions like that, because it'll be a pay-to-win game instead of a, skill-based game, in my honest opinion. Stop me if you're ready to talk about one of these other games.
Oh man, you're doing good. I'll throw in 2 cents every now and then,
Okay.
maybe 2.5 cents.
Maybe 2.5 cents. Okay.
Maybe 2.5.
Shenmue 3. Honestly, never heard any of these games, so I can't really give you guys any much more than they're saying that it was a huge game success and it was a Kickstarter game. So they put in quite a bit of time, and so apparently on this last one, Sony jumped in on it and gave them money to help. Which means this is now a PS4 and a PC game only. Xbox. Mega Man 11.
Who likes the Mega Man?
Yeah, well, they've done a lot of updating with the game engine of what they used for Mega Man since the beginning. And we know that they have gone through a lot of changes for Mega Man. And it's been over 30 years since the original Mega Man game on the Nintendo Entertainment System, or the NES. We're looking at updated graphics, updated game mechanics, but some of the game mechanics are just going to be the exact same as before. It's just going to be a little bit better looking than it was, only because of the game engine that they're using when they created it. You don't know the game engine. But Mega Man was a hit. It still is a hit series of games. So just like Metroid. Metroid was a very big game, and I believe it still is a very big game. Soul Calibur 6. I've said this yesterday, I'll say it again today. Mitsuguri was my favorite. Always has been, because he's the only character I can really play. But I have beat that game many, many times, 1 through 5. In 1 and 2, I played in the arcades. Put many, many quarters into this game. So, this one's going to look pretty damn good too. It's the 20th anniversary, basically. It's saying right here, 20th anniversary of the game. So I'm hoping that they bring a lot more to it. You remember playing it, Murder? Soul Calibur?
No.
Huh?
I never really liked them that much.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, this is a remnant of any of your older games, like Street Fighter and stuff like that. It really is. Before Street Fighter and before Mortal Kombat, this was one of the games that allowed you to get around your opponent by sidestepping. There was no sidestepping in the other games. This one actually had a 3D feel, word, I don't know the word, it's not a feel, but an actual 3D look to the game, because you could sidestep. There were backs to the character, there were fronts to the character, there were sides, there was animations that were all 3-dimensional animations. So, you had that before any of the other games did. The other ones were all side-scroll style games. They really, really were. All you seen was 2D. That was it. Dreams, I talked about it last night because I seen the picture, and the first thing I thought was Searchy. I can see her playing this game. Only because the little dragon guy that they're flying on the back of looks like Falcor. Not really, but, has that feel of Falcor, and she was like, oh yeah, you have me at Falcor. And by the way, that's never ending story, peeps. But Dreams, it has this little bear with a sledgehammer in her hand. and a fox with a patch over his eye. That's kind of cool looking. But it is a 2D game, it says here. I'm not too sure. I've never seen the game, so I don't know. But I would be interested in getting it from Searchy so she can then, give everybody her 2 cents on this game. I might play it too.
Have you mentioned A Way Out?
No.
Prison Break or Prison Escape game. Looks kind of interesting.
Which is that on the next page? Page 1. Darksiders 3. Not to, roll around, get away from the enemies. Yeah, Darksiders 3. And basically, you're still going after all the horsemen. In the first one, you went after war. The second one, you went after death. Now this one is fury. And this one is actually a woman, not a man. So, Ace Combat 7, Skies Unknown. Ace Combat games, I love the first ones. I do like they had one for 1942, and that one was amazing. And I'm really hoping that this one is too. I hope that they allow you to use the HOTAS for these, but we'll see what happens. This one will be on the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. They're remaking Final Fantasy VII. We'll see how well that goes. I liked my Final Fantasy games, but some of the games just kind of went to the wayside because they kept just losing the essence of what Final Fantasy really was. Mountain Blade coming out with Bannerlord. That's the second of the Mountain Blade games. It hasn't had a release date yet, but we might be able to see that by the end of the year if they get it completed and tested. They did state that the developers are saying that there will be more dueling, more intense dueling. They're going to modernize a lot of it, basically giving a facelift to the predecessor as far as visuals are concerned. So you're going to be looking at better skins on the characters, better textures, better artwork. So keep an eye out for that one. I guess that could be pretty decent. The Last of Us Part 2, you're looking at 5 years after the original game that this game's going to be coming out, or not coming out, but 5 years later. So you'll be seeing the 2 main characters of the last one, Joel and Ellie, 5 years after, so they've kind of grown up a little bit. Now they are stating here that you don't know if Joel lived or died, but what they're talking about kind of leaves you to think that maybe he is still alive through Ellie's imagination. So she basically psycho. Death Stranding. Death Stranding. I forgot his name. Matt Mikkelsen is playing your bad guy in this. Supposedly, he's the bad guy in this. And also, Norman Reedus is going to be the hero, I guess, in this game set. So, and they used facial capture for these parts. So these are the characters, these are the actors. So every mannerism you see is the actor's real mannerisms. So that's going to be actually kind of cool. Kingdom Hearts 3. Just makes my head hurt even thinking about it. That, I mean, it was just one of those games. Could not get into it at all. There's a lot of you people out there that can get into it. So be it. Enjoy. Stream it if you like. Have fun with it. Metroid 4 will be on the Nintendo Switch only. We're calling this one Metroid Prime. What was that game you were talking about, Murder?
A Way Out. It's an EA game.
Yeah, I'll look that up because I honestly. Right directly to Origins page for it. Tale of Two Sons comes A Way Out, an exclusive co-op adventure. Two prisoners making a daring escape from prison. Oh, kind of reminds me of the TV show Prison Break. Never really watched it. But, go through the description here. This is on Origin's website for the game. From the creators of Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons comes A Way Out. An exclusively co-op adventure where you play the role of one of two prisoners making their daring escape from prison. What begins as a thrilling breakout quickly turns to unpredictable, emotional adventure unlike anything seen or played before. A Way Out is an experience that must be played with two players. Each player controls one of the main characters, Leo and Vincent, in a reluctant alliance to break out of prison and gain their freedom. Together you will explore notions of trust and consequences as your choices begin to catch up with you. Play the entire experience with your friends for free using the one-click free trial feature. So you can get a taste of this game going right onto Origin's website and giving it a play-see. And see how well you like it. Maybe me and you can do that, remember? See if we like it or not.
Yeah, it seems kind of cool.
Yeah. I wonder what kind of bugs you find. Prison break right out of the prison, walk through the walls. I can see that happening. What was that noise? Are there any games that you guys are looking at, waiting for that we didn't cover on? I know Scorpio and Red Dead Redemption 2. House Flipper?
Never heard of that one.
Me neither. Looking it up now. It's on Steam Greenlight. Oh, basically you build a house, you fix a house up, and then you turn around and sell it. You basically buy, repair, and upgrade devastated houses, give them a second life, and sell it out. Kind of like one of those TV shows.
Apparently, Blizzard has a new World of Warcraft expansion coming.
Oh, yes, yes. Let's see on
Azeroth.
that one. Yes, and I really can't wait for that one. It looks really, really good. It looks like they're getting back to the core of what the game really, really was about. The Horde versus the Alliance.
That's cool.
So that in itself is going to be awesome. Now, I am going to try to get the cinematic trailer to play for people. One second. One second, peeps. Let me get this screen capture situated for you so you guys can watch this. Oh, excuse me. Oh, that hurts my back. I hurt myself doing a floor, putting tile down. Get too old for this shit. Alright, let's see. So this is the official trailer for the Battle of Azeroth.
Ours is a cycle of hatred. Alliances forged and broken. We have paid the price for sharing this world. And we have forgotten what makes us strong.
Close ranks! Advance has won! Lordaeron will be ours! My king, we have her cornered.
Keep firing!
And there's the Banshee Queen. Woo.
Stand as one for the Alliance!
So, I like it. What do you guys think? Yeah, I know murder. Yeah, searchy too. Me, I don't give a rat's ass. I play both sides. But I have to admit, I like how they're bringing this back to it's Horde versus Alliance. There's really nothing in between. It's just one of the two. Now, they are with this bringing in new races. There's going to be 3 for each side. And off the top of my head, I know the Dark Elves are going to be, or excuse me, for the Horde you'll have the High Elves. I believe they were High Elves, weren't they? They were like the High Elves. They're going to be joining the Horde. You're going to see a tribe of the Zandalari going in as well. No, let me bring it up real quick, and I will give you guys the lowdown on the new races. You're going to have the High Mounted Tauren, which is going to be joining the Horde. They're basically, that was the race they introduced in this current expansion of Legion. So you'll see them, and that race will be able to play druids, hunters, monks, shaman, and warriors only. You have the Light Force Draenei. They are going to be for the Alliance, and you will see them as hunters, mages, paladins, priests, and warriors only. You have the Highborn. That's who they are called. Not High Elves. Highborn. Basically the High Elves, in my opinion. They will be for the Horde. And they came in during Burning Legion, I believe. Now, you'll see them as hunters, mages, monks, priests, rogues, warlocks, and warriors. Now, for the Alliance, you kind of are going to get some real badasses because you are getting Illyria Windrunner, and she is a void elf. So you're getting the sister of the Banshee Queen. So you're going to have sister plotted against sister here. And your void elves are going to be hunters, mages, monks, priests, rogues, warlocks, and warriors. And then after that, you will get the Zandalari trolls, will be for the Horde, and you'll get the Dark Iron Dwarves for the Alliance. So, with getting more classes, or excuse me, getting more races, you're going to see a lot more people playing these particular ones, and then eventually it's going to get evened out. But for the first part, you're going to see a lot of people playing these new classes. I myself am probably going to be playing, just because I like the look of the Void Elves, I'm going to be playing the Void Elf and the Dark Iron Dwarves. And I might give the Cow a try. Or the Moose, whatever the hell you want to call them. But I like the direction they're going now. Move for the win, yes. And Searchy would agree with you on that. Wouldn't you, Searchy? I know you like your cows. They taste like chicken. Especially when they run during matches when I'm playing my Paladin in PvP. Hold on one second, peeps. Okay, I'm back. So anyway, yeah, winner, steak dinner. There you go, brother. There you go. So I really like I said, the where they're going. Going back to the roots of the Horde versus the Alliance. Murder, what say you?
About
the new classes and the direction that they're going now, that they've gotten it out of their system of the Mist of Pandera and the, what was this,
well, we'll see if they got it out of their system.
Yeah.
And they're always adding new classes. It's almost too much, but some of them look kind of cool. Wouldn't mind trying them out.
You mean races? You mean races, not classes.
Racist, sexist, classist, whatever.
Whatever. It's
I'm mainly Horde, so I mean I'm gonna play them anyway. But
yeah,
Banshee Queen in the video at least looked pretty damn cool.
I'm gonna tell you what, they showed her true form, and I remember her being in that form a lot during Warcraft. I don't know if you've ever played the Warcraft series of games, but she had that form, whereas you didn't see it too much in World of Warcraft. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that in itself, I like how they're bringing her out and bringing her into the fold of being more of the war chief now than what you really seen of her when Legion came. So I really like where they're going with her. I do like the fact that they are bringing her sister in to be like a balance from one side to the other. They're bringing in your void elves. It's just I'm gonna try the class and see how it plays out, but we'll see if it's anything like they were when when they came out of the void. You know what I mean? So, Murder, what is it we're talking about?
For me and Scorpio?
Yeah.
Stuff?
Oh, okay. I thought it was for the show.
No.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm
Yeah,
sitting
no,
here
I don't think he
thinking,
wants to put it on the show.
oh, he doesn't want to air that longer, huh? But I think that, like they were saying before, at least it was being speculated, the Zandalari trolls, this is going to be a faction away from all the other Zandalari trolls that are going to be, you're still your bad guys. So you're going to have your good guys and your bad guys. And I believe they might even do that with your Dark Iron Wars as well.
Time I have to catch all my stuff up. And maybe we can create new characters and run around.
Yeah, we could do that. We get Searchy to be the hunter. I'll be the paladin.
I'll be a druid. I just gotta get all my stuff up to date, like expansions and whatnot.
Yeah, we would have to buy the expansion. We still have to buy time for it because we haven't paid time for any of this stuff. We just haven't had money for it. We've been letting the kids do this. So what's the game called?
If you're a pally tank and she's a hunter, I'd be a druid. We got almost a whole setup there.
Oh, I know it. This is World of Warcraft that we're talking about. We're talking about the new classes, the new races that they're bringing to it. They don't have bards.
I don't know why I'm typing it. Usually for me, it's either pally, druid, or hunter.
Yeah.
Those are the three I like the most, Scorpio.
You never played. It's to an extent.
You can download it and play for free up to level 20 on any of the classes. Just try it out. I mean, it's free to do that.
Yeah, you can give it a shot and see what you like, if you like it or not, Biz. Biggs. Biz.
You can sing while you're playing if you want.
Yeah, you can sing while you're playing. But Biggs, you're looking at our show being on Saturdays at 2 and on Fridays at 8 p.m. So we're going to be hosting shows twice a week. We're going to see how well this works. The show on Sundays is being moved to this. We're doing this more so we can catch people who are on the EU time for Saturdays, and then on Fridays, we're trying to catch everybody on that west coast of the United States and in that general vicinity. You're gonna get the base game, which will allow you to play up to level 20, and you can keep playing your level 20. It doesn't stop. You just can't level. You basically stop leveling, stop growing at level 20. And once you get the full game and you're able to get higher than level 20, things get a lot interesting. You get to see more of Azeroth. You get to see more of Draenor. You get to see a lot more of that kind of stuff. Yeah, this is nothing like Destiny's Future. But, what other games are you guys in chat looking at, expecting for the new year to see, or even play?
Biggs wants it too.
Red Dead 2, yeah, we talked about that one. And a lot of people, I mean a lot of people cannot wait for that. Yeah, you don't keep that shit. Oh, yeah, you could probably find a lot of good games that really not a lot of people are talking about on Kickstarter. In fact, that's where Searchy, myself, and Murder found quite a few games we talked about in the past, is on Kickstarter. And in fact, on Sunday, tomorrow, Searchy is going to try to host her own show for Kickstarter games. She's going to look at all of it, kind of research it a little bit, and then talk about them tomorrow. So, anybody got any questions, comments, games, tech, talk related?
Look up some games y'all are looking forward to, and we'll
Yeah,
we can bring them up next week.
yep, we can do that.
If y'all have any tech you're interested in, let us know.
And we'll talk about it next week. There is a pirate game coming out called Skull and Bones. So, that one me and Murder looked at. It looked kind of cool. We looked at it last year. We talked about it last year, in fact. I think that's one that would be kind of a decent game to get into. As far as Viking style games, I'll take a look and see what we can find on Viking games coming out. As long as it's not For Honor. That one kind of fell flat on its face. And we'll talk about it next week. So, is that it, peeps? Um, I love Explorer. Shit. We had a follow, and now I don't see it. Did you see who followed? Because I see the heart, it's right there, but I can't read it. So I don't know who followed. Son of the Night followed? Okay. Thank you for that follow, Son of the Night. Oh, you got Empyrean. Empyrean is fun. Empyrean is a lot of fun, Biggs. It'll take a little bit of getting used to if you try to play in third person. And we'll take a look at the 303 Squadron as well. We have a Rust server running as well, too. Right, still running?
Oh yeah, it's still running.
I was testing a Rust server out for a Facebook group that I'm with. It's Florida Gamers, and he's got a server, and I was testing it out for him. And none of his animals were moving, none of his bad guys were moving, none of his zombies were moving. Oh damn, dude. Calling him out on his mating calls.
He's trying to hit on me.
Yeah, I've got miscreated. That I uninstalled it a little bit ago.
I'm a little disappointed in miscreated. If you're gonna get another one, I would do Rust instead of miscreated, but there may be some other options instead of Rust too.
Yeah.
That are about the same price. Just depends on kind of what you're into.
Aw, damn. I'm taking big. Sorry, man. I haven't gotten that one. That one looked pretty decent.
Scorpio got out of reach.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, so he likes it.
Yeah, we had a good time playing it when we played it. Took a little bit to get used to it, though. What is out of reach? It's a survival build game. Yeah, pirate survival game. Yeah, there you go.
You like space stuff? You try Elite Dangerous.
Oh yeah, definitely Elite Dangerous. And you've got plans to buy the X-52, or are you going to go for the X-56? POTUS for that.
Ooh, I don't know. Haven't decided.
You haven't decided yet?
It all comes down to whether or not I do that Ryzen 7 build or not. If not, maybe the 56, and I thought about the Pimax 4K.
Okay. Yeah, I run the X-52 because at the time it was the best of the best, so that's why I have it. And then I have another flight stick for the older games like the 1942 games like that. And that's just a single stick, POTUS. Oh, by the way, I didn't realize they call these damn things POTUS. I didn't know that until Murder told me, by the way. because he was talking to who you were talking to. We were playing Elite Dangerous, and somebody asked me if I was using a HOTAS, and what was the HOTAS? So, anybody got anything else? I do have some flight simulator games. They're kind of collecting dust down over there in my bedroom. One of them's a World War II game. It's just all flight. I got another one. I used to have one that was it's like a Boeing 747 style game, and it's just a simulator is really all it is. You just take off and land type simulators, flying. I mean, it wasn't very exciting for other people, but if you like to try to fly and be as realistic as possible, that is one of those types of games. Which one? It's a 747 Boeing flight simulator.
I want that X-Plane 11. Yeah, look it up on Steam. X-Plane 11. Highly detailed. You can even design your own plane.
Hold on one second. I'll be right back, please. Alright, I'm back. I only found the one, but it's IL-2, Strategic Simulations. It's Pacific Fighters is the game that I have. And then this is one of the expansions here. And then here's the other expansion here. So I got all three of these. And these are the ones that I mainly played for quite a while. Granted, I did not play them on Twitch, but I have these. Yeah. I gotta have my fan. I'm a fat boy. But these here, you're using the P52 Mustang. The D3A1s, the Bristol Bowfighters, the Douglas A20 Havocs, the SPD Dauntless, the F6F Hellcats, the Kawasaki KI61s, the Mitsubishi A6M0s, Mitsubishi G4N1 Bettys, the North American B25 Mitchells, the Submarine Seafire, and the Voigt F4U-1 Corsair. And a lot of these fights that are on the original game are your Iwo Jima, Midway, and Pearl Harbor for this part. And then it goes into more historical maps and stuff like that once you get into the other ones. So, and these are all back when you had CD-ROMs for games instead of the DVDs to install from. So these are kind of old, like me, but not Murder. Murder's not old. He's a spring chicken, right, Murder?
Yeah.
So, got anything else people want to talk about?
Not that I can think of.
All right, peeps. Oh, this is the part of the show where we have to, unfortunately, say, have a good day. But catch us next Friday for our stream, and then next Saturday we'll have the same stream. It might be a little different, but we're going to talk about the same thing. So if you miss it on Friday at 8 p.m., you can catch us on Saturday at 2 p.m. And we're basically doing this so that we can make sure that we get both the West Coast of the United States and all of our friends across the pond. So, make sure I got everything. Yep, got everything. So thanks everybody for coming out. Please hit the follow button if you have not yet. Follow the channel. We are going to be doing a giveaway at 100 followers. Once we get the CNG Gaming Facebook follower count up to 100. The follower count here on this channel, if we can get it up to 100, we'll still have another giveaway as well. So for Searchy and myself, I'd like to thank you guys for coming by. Murder, he would like to say it, but he probably won't.
To say what?
Say goodbye for the day.
See ya.
See ya. Alright, peeps. Friends don't let friends game alone. Peace.